Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yesterday I made it out to Lancaster County Marine in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, picked up the Oldtown Sportsman 106 PDL. Let's do a quick walkthrough. All right, folks, we're gonna walk through this from bow to stern. Right up front, the drain plug. This is the first kayak I've had with the drain plug in the front. The last two that I've owned have all been in the back of the kayak. So right up front, drain plug. Nice handle here. I think that it's not molded in, but it's pretty rigid. I think it'll be just fine for what I use it for. Start up front here with a hatch, one-hand operation with these hatches. It does have a little bit of a rubber gasket in it, so I believe it is watertight. It also has this little rope to so in case they're on the water and you drop it overboard, no big deal. It will be attached to the kayak. Inside, really deep storage space in here. I'll probably end up with my battery and some other stuff here for my fish finder. But right up front, behind that is the hole for the scupper plug mount for the transducer. I will probably do that. We'll go through some of the mods we're going to do here at the end of this. Next, we have the pedal unit, pedal drive. This is, from all the research I've done, the smoothest, quietest drive. They have a 5-year warranty with it, so I'm pretty happy with the warranty that comes with it. It's really easy to take in and out of the water. So I do fish a lot of shallow water, so it will be easy to pull in and out. One of the things I like is this right here. On top is a dry hatch. This is dry storage. Keys, phone, wallet. More importantly for me, I'm probably gonna have GoPro batteries in here, my portable charger, stuff like that, I want to keep dry on the water. On either side of the cockpit, you see we have these baskets in here, probably good for me for pliers, scissors, snips, stuff like that. Maybe some extra line. Next we have a good decking here for standing. This seat, as you can see, is really adjustable. I'm not a real tall guy. I'm about 5'9", so I'm not sure if this is as close as I'm going to be to the pedals or not. I'll do that and set that when we do the on-water review, and we'll figure out how much room. The further back the seat goes, the more room you have in the cockpit. The further forward it has, the more room you have in the back. So it really is just a matter of you know, fitting comfortably to the pedals. All the Oldtown Sportsmans come with a little accessory track here, or accessories here, a little Plano box, some scupper plugs, and some an Allen wrench for changing out some of the prop and stuff like that. Okay, each side also has this gear track here. Be using this on each side. Mount my fish finder on one side, probably my GoPro mount on the other side. Haven't figured out which one will be which yet, but we'll go ahead and do that. We have good handles here on both sides for carrying it. Let's talk about this seat. This seat is one of those lawn chair style seats. It does have some cushion to it here, which I like. It is mesh and breathable, so it looks like it would dry pretty quickly. I do like it has this under seat storage here, which would be really good. And then it sits up high enough that you can have stuff stored under that as well. And then one of the things that I forgot to mention is while you're pedaling, it's got these grooves here. This is meant for your rods to be put in here so that they're out of the way while pedaling and not in the middle of the cockpit, which is a pretty good idea. And then the butt is supposed to sit down there under the seat and out of the way. So if you're paddling under some trees or bridges or something like that where you can't have your rods upright, you can at least have them here and out of the way. This is, on this side we have the rudder control, left and right, your rudder movement, along with the tension knob to keep you in the direction you're going, and you can just pedal and not have to worry about maintaining control there. You can kind of lock that down. There are 3 flush mount rod holders here. These 2 in the back are rear facing. This one here is a forward facing rod holder, which I really like that idea because, as you've seen in some of my videos, when I catch a fish or I'm fighting, and I net that fish, I struggle with where to put the rod sometimes and to be able to unhook that fish. So now I've got a spot for that. It goes in there forward facing. You can unhook the fish really easily. It also works well if you need to retie, you're going to switch lures or something like that. You have a place to put that, and then the line is going to be basically hanging right in front of you. Just below that, we have a paddle holder, which will be really nice out on the water. Just because it's a pedal drive, you still have to go out there with a paddle because we will get into some shallow areas. So I like that strap over top and hold it nice and secure. We have another hatch back here that is be able to get to the bottom of the inside of the kayak. Another deep well, so if we're going to be mounting anything back here, lights or anything like that in the future, that's how we would access the back of the kayak. All right, so the seat is strapped down here, so should you flip this kayak, the seat will stay in the boat, which from everything I've read, this kayak is extremely stable, so we probably won't be getting into that situation. But you never know, out there on the water, something catches your rudder or your pedal drive and flips you. You just never know. The back side of it here is a really big tank well. I really like the size of this. Again, one-hand operation on the cords. I'll have my milk crate back here, and that's where I usually go out with all my tackle. And then we're going to have plenty of room back here to have something else, maybe a small cooler or anything like that. This is the rudder for controlling your steering, and all the Sportsmans come with this shallow water anchor mount spot, so I'll probably take this off. But if I was to get a power pole down the road, that's where that would be mounted. And then that's probably where we would also access that back hatch to run the power for that power pole. So we'll see how that goes. Now we're going to come around the other side, and this is where we have the rudder deployment. So this handle, when you flip it backwards, deploys the rudder, and then when you pull it forward, it brings the rudder up. So when you know you're going into shallow water, go ahead, pull it up, or going into land. Another thing that I really liked, and this may sound crazy, but a cup holder. My last kayak didn't have a cup holder. I like to take coffee out on the water, so that's a good place to put a cup holder. And then with the excess storage in the back here, I might be able to have some waters or something in a small cooler back there that will fit in there. So that's the quick overview of the Oldtown Sportsman 106 PDL. All right, guys, so quickly, this is the 106, so that's 10 foot 6 inches long. It's 36 inches wide. It's right around 100 pounds fully dressed here with the pedal drive and the seat. Take those out and it's about 80 some pounds. So it's not too bad. I will be car topping this. I don't have a trailer or anywhere to store a trailer. So, and one of the reasons I decided to go with the 106 is because of where I have to store it. I just don't have that much storage space, which I would have liked the 120, but I like the space up front of the 120, but just don't have anywhere to store a 12-foot kayak. So one of the other reasons I went with the 106. All right, some of these modifications are going to be pretty quickly done. Others I have in my head but haven't gotten the stuff for yet. One of the things that a lot of guys do is they buy all kinds of mods and they haven't even been on the water yet. So they don't know what they like, what they don't like, what they need to change, what they have room for, that kind of stuff. So, you know, I was watching Bearded Dad Fishing. Jay over there was going through his common mistakes that kayakers make, and one of them was too many mods too fast. So what I'm planning on doing, I have a fish finder already. We'll get that mounted on here sometime relatively quickly. But I'm going to take this out on the water with none of that, and just see how I like things, where I'm going to set it up, what I want to do, and then we'll get to getting some of that stuff. Some of the modifications though are not requiring any space or anything. They're just more for durability, performance, and convenience. So let's go over those right now. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to start at the back, and the first thing we're going to do is replace this pin in the rudder with a rudder bolt from Navarre Kayaks. That just gives it a little bit more stability. Everything I've read, the pin, it's okay, but you get a little bit more rigidity from the bolt. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do, moving up here, is the next two things actually are the pedal drive. So with the pedal drive up, the first thing is, if you need to replace this propeller for any reason, say you're out on the water and you hit some rocks and you bust one of those blades and you want to change it out, the first thing we're going to do, you have to take this nut off. If you drop this nut, you're SOL. So Navarre Kayaks also makes a floating nut. So we're going to go ahead and pick one of those up, as well as some spare propellers as well to have with us, just because I don't know how well that's going to perform or how easily that's going to be damaged. So I'm going to at least get one of those. The other thing I'm going to do with the pedal drive is I'm going to buy the spacers that fit here. So this thing can get a little bit off center, and then it won't drop down into the hull the way it's supposed to, and then lock into place. So there, it's locked into place. This is actually designed to break, so if you hit something, instead of damaging the drive, it's supposed to break that. But these spacers keep it so that when you lift it up in and out, that it stays in the center position. So I'll probably pick those up as well. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the scupper hole mount here for my transducer, and add my fish finder to one of these rails. Not sure which one yet, so we're going to do that, and here relatively soon I'll post a video of doing that in the garage. I can't imagine it's that difficult. If it ends up being rather difficult, I can always just put it on the switchblade and hang it off the side like I did with my Feel Free. Okay, the other thing I already have, and I hesitated on putting it on my last kayak because I was really contemplating the pedal kayak, and I didn't want to spend the time and put it on there and then have to turn around and take it back off or buy it again, and that's an anchor trolley. So I do fish a lot of streams and rivers where an anchor will be useful even with the pedal drive. So I will go ahead and mount the anchor trolley on this side because the other side has the paddle holder, and I think that's probably going to get in the way of where I'm going to mount it. Not 100% sure, but that's what I think. It might get in the way, it might not, of where the lock will be. So we'll kind of play that one by ear and play with that and see how it goes. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the walkthrough. I want to take a minute and again thank the folks over at Lancaster County Marine for helping me out with this Oldtown. So if you're in the market for a kayak, they are an Oldtown dealer, a Hobie dealer, have tons of kayaks and other boats, regular boats in their showroom. Go check them out over in Ephrata, PA, if you're anywhere near the area. So the next video for me is going to be the maiden voyage. I'm hoping that that's going to be tomorrow morning. Get this thing out. Let's see if we can't put the first fish on the deck in the new kayak. If you like following along with me today, give me that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more of the new Oldtown kayak series, and let's see what we can't do here before we got to wrap it up and store it for the winter. Catch you on the next one.